Power pallet jacks can cause injuries, accidents, and damage if they are not used properly. Be aware of the hazards associated with this equipment before you start working with it. At Sarcan, it's everyone's responsibility to prevent accidents. For this equipment, preventing accidents involves identifying and eliminating hazards, or controlling them when elimination isn't possible, installing guards to prevent accidents, developing safe work practices that protect you while you are working with this equipment. This section will go over the hazards of using this equipment and safe work procedures you must follow to work as safely as possible. Personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment helps guard you from hazards. The following pieces of personal protective equipment, or PPE, need to be worn while operating a power pallet jack to protect against hazards. CSA-approved safety boots, work gloves, hearing protection. Hazards. A hazard is any potential harm that may come from working with your power pallet jack. Over the next few slides, we will go over the types of hazards that may happen while you are using a power pallet jack. Hazards, people. The most common cause of accidents involving power pallet jacks are due to people making errors. People hazards include untrained workers operating or repairing the equipment, inattentive drivers hitting coworkers, driving power pallet jacks too fast, people playing with power pallet jacks, horseplay, people riding on the pallet jacks, intoxicated drivers. The probability of this hazard is moderate, and the severity of human hazards is high. The remedies to preventing people hazards are preventing untrained workers from using power pallet jacks. Drive slowly and cautiously and observe your surroundings before you move a power pallet jack. Watch for pedestrians at all times. Look in the direction that you are traveling at all times. Sound your horn at intersections and blind spots. Do not play or ride on the power pallet jack. Do not operate the power pallet jack if you are intoxicated. Hazard, unbalanced loads. Accidents can occur if the load on the pallet jack is unstackable, bulky, unevenly distributed, or highly stacked. The probability of this hazard is moderate, and the severity of the hazard is moderate. The remedy is to build strong, stable pallets, to use shrink wrap to create stable loads, and to make sure loads are built stable before you move them. Hazard, poor surfaces. Power pallet jacks are meant to be driven on smooth, clean surfaces. Driving the pallet jack on icy, oily, muddy, sandy, uneven, or weak surfaces may cause it to tip over. The probability of this hazard is moderate, and the severity of this hazard is moderate. The remedy is to make sure pathways are clean and clear before driving, and to keep your work area clean. Hazard, ramps. Using power pallet jacks on ramps can be dangerous because the pallet jack can be harder to control going uphill and downhill. This can cause accidents or injuries to yourself and others. The probability of this hazard is moderate, and the severity of this hazard is low. The remedy is that ramps should be traveled with operator uphill when empty, and with the operator downhill when loaded and standing off to the side of the truck. Hazard, overhead clearance. Overhead clearance is the amount of space between the top of the pallet and the top of your pathway, including ceilings, the top of trailer doors, suspended pipework. If you don't properly observe an overhead clearance, you can tip your pallet jack over or topple your load. The probability of this hazard is low, and the severity of the hazard is low. The remedy is to know your pallet's height, check your height clearances before you move a pallet, keep the load as low as possible, and watch the overhead clearance when raising, moving, and lowering. Hazard, pinch points. The power pallet jack has pinch points around its lifting mechanism. These are areas that can crush your hands, feet, and legs if they are caught in that lifting mechanism while it is raising or lowering the pallet jack. The probability of this hazard is low, and the severity of the hazard is high. The remedy is to keep hands, feet, and legs away from lifting mechanism when raising or lowering the pallet jack. Hazard: electrical. Power pallet jacks are powered by electricity, and electricity can cause burns, electrical shocks, and start fires. The probability of this hazard is low, and the severity of the hazard is low. The remedy is to keep water away from electrical devices, including cords and motors, and to not use equipment with frayed cords. Hazard: musculoskeletal injuries. Working with power pallet jacks can cause musculoskeletal injuries if you are using poor body posture, reaching too far, or doing a lot of repetitive motions. The probability of this hazard is low, and the severity of the hazard is low. The remedy is to switch job functions regularly, to stretch your body throughout the workday, and to use proper posture while operating. General safety measures. Just like when you are driving a car, be aware of your surroundings when you use a pallet jack. You will be driving your pallet jack around your facility, so you want to make sure that your pathways are clear and that you have enough space around the pallet jack to move your load around. Communication is important when you use your pallet jack. Make sure everyone working in the same area is aware of 1. What you are moving, 2. Where you will be moving, your pathway. Never lift or lower the load when the truck is in motion. Travel with the load near the floor ground whenever possible. Always make certain that the load is evenly positioned across both forks. Never attempt to lift a load with only one fork. Avoid situations that could pin you or others between the load and an object. Do not leave loaded pallet jacks that are raised up unattended. Do not allow customers or contractors to operate a power pallet jack. If a pallet jack is tipping over, move out of the way and let it fall instead of trying to catch or brace the load with your arm or other parts of your body. It is easier to clean up a mess from a spilled pallet jack load than it is for you to recover from an injury. Emergency stop. In the event of an accident or emergency, power may be shut off completely by pressing the emergency shutoff switch. The switch is installed on the top cover for easy access by the operator. Make sure that the switch is kept turned off when charging the batteries with the truck-mounted battery charger. Inspections. Inspections identify equipment problems that will need to be repaired. Pre-shift inspections are important because they help prevent accidents caused by a broken or faulty equipment. Pre-shift inspections. Each day before you use your power pallet jack, you must inspect it and fill out a daily inspection sheet. This pre-shift inspection will help to identify damage and maintenance problems. Completed pre-shift inspection forms should be kept for 5 years. Visual inspection. 1. Walk around your pallet jack and take note of obvious damage you can see. 2. Check that all decals are attached and legible. 3. Check that the battery is installed and secured in position correctly, and check the battery connector. 4. Check for hydraulic oil leaks and loose fittings. 5. Check safety devices and inspect for damaged or missing parts. 6. Carefully inspect the forks for cracks, bending, twists, and wear. 7. Inspect the wheels and tires for safe mounting, wear condition. Functional inspection. 1. Test warning devices, horn, and other safety equipment and accessories. 2. With the key switch on, check the electronic display. The electronic display should show the charge remaining on the battery, the hour meter, or a fault code. 3. Be sure all controls and systems operate freely and return to neutral properly. Check the brake system, hydraulic controls, control handle, direction, accelerator, and steering control, steering system. 4. When the functional checks are completed, bring the truck to a stop, lower it down, and place it in the off position. concluding the inspection. Make a record of the pre-shift inspection checklist of all the operating and truck problems that you find. Review the checklist to be sure it has been completed and turn it in to the person responsible for pallet jack maintenance. If all of the daily inspection checks were normal or satisfactory, the pallet jack can be operated. If you identify any damages or maintenance issues during any inspection, notify your supervisor right away. Have repairs made before you operate the pallet jack. The pallet jack should be tagged with an out of service tag and taken out of service until it has been restored to safe operating condition.